science.
Welcome back to Nutrition Tips with J-Lo. Okay, quick one for you today. Just want to say awesome work to everyone for a sweet little mini at-home camp. Super fun. I had a blast. I think it was really productive and, a really good kind of alternative to West Yellowstone. Obviously, West is super fun, and we missed out on, kind of the whole experience of West, but we still got a really good training camp in. And I think it was good to get a nice block of training in this early season. Today about nutrition, in regards to nutrition, I want to talk about eating during exercise. This is a big thing that's important to kind of start thinking about, and especially as with all of the issues of this season, I think something that we can start to practice and learn about ourselves is actually eating during training, during longer, harder workouts, to give ourselves a little bit more fuel availability during harder sessions, harder workouts, and start to kind of train our gut. There's actually a really cool book that came out this year called The Athlete's Gut. It's a little bit more based on longer endurance events like ultra endurance activities or races, or cycling or running, where there's maybe a little bit of a longer workout period or exercise than say a ski workout or a ski race. But it's still really important to think about, to have as part of your routine, is learning how to eat during workouts. And kind of a rule of thumb is, if it's a workout that's longer than, say, about 90 minutes, hour and a half, you want to be eating something every 30 to 45 minutes to kind of keep that blood sugar up, so that you don't just kind of tank and feel bad and start to get a little bit bonky. I mean, the whole point of training, the whole point of going through hard workouts is to get the most out of those sessions and be able to adapt. And if we run out of fuel during them, then we're going to be sort of sacrificing a lot of that workout. And so we have, as I've talked about, this stuff in our legs and our arms and in our liver called glycogen, which is just the storage form of carbohydrates, a really efficient source of fuel for endurance activity. And we kind of have a limited supply of it. It runs out typically in like a hard, hour and a half, 2 hour session. And so we want to make sure that by eating during activity, during exercise, we actually can spare that. We can make that sort of go away a little bit slower. And by bringing in some carbohydrate during the exercise, during the activity, can help to keep the blood sugar high and sort of reduce our need to focus on using it so much, and the body is stressed a little bit less. So on like big ski days where we're doing, the whole Harriman like we did on Friday, bringing some food with you to snack on during the workout every 45 minutes or so can really help you have a much better session and feel better, and kind of get to the end and not feel completely gassed, so that you can actually recover better and have better energy for, say, the next day, which was the sprint simulation. So it's not just about that single session, it's about the whole sort of process and the long-term thing. And I think that's a really key thing to think about, especially for you older athletes that are, starting to race at, higher levels, or doing longer races, doing longer workouts, longer weeks. If you want to be able to handle a bigger training volume, you have to fuel it. You have to be able to handle eating enough during that week, during each of those individual sessions, and it compounds and it allows you to take on more and more training load. So I know that's kind of nerdy, but for the rest of us who are just out there, we want to make sure that we feel good. We want to have a good experience, a good session. And in order to do that, we have to eat. And so I recommend eating just, kind of simple, easy to digest foods during workouts that are longer than an hour and a half, every 30 to 45 minutes. So that means, an energy bar, some like gummies, chews, or blocks, or, and this is where it also can be a kind of a cool thing to start experimenting with and tinkering with, and something that is a big part of this book that I actually had this guy on my podcast talk to him about it, is just like our muscles are adaptable to training, so is our gut. And I think a lot of us, a lot of you probably have digestive issues around eating during exercise or right before exercise or after. And this is something that is very common, but it's also something that can be adapted and can be sort of trained, just like our muscles, just like our technique, all of these things. Our gut is highly adaptable. And so by practicing how you want to play, practicing eating during exercise, during longer workouts, or experimenting with your perfect pre-race, pre-interval session meal, you can start to kind of perfect that, and then your gut will start to adapt to it so that you can handle eating a lot of food during a hard workout. I mean, it's, for example, I was training earlier this year for a race that didn't happen, but it was a 200-mile gravel bike race in Kansas. Pretty stupid, I know, but like I had to train my gut to be able to handle eating a crazy amount of calories during that sort of event, because it was going to be 9-10 hours long or more. And so I had to eat constantly. And so I just would go on training rides where I would just stuff my face the entire time, and my stomach would hurt. I would feel bloated and disgusting, but it would be eventually, over time, my digestive system got used to eating like that. And so it's just something to think about. I know that there's a lot of uncertainty in this season, but this is something that we can work on, something that is just doable in every, distance workout, every long workout. And I think you'll feel a lot of the benefits by starting to eat a little bit of, food during a workout. And it's also adaptable, where you don't have to rely so heavily on, gels and blocks and sports drink. You can start to eat more real food, which is a little bit harder to digest, but you can start to train the gut to handle that. So just some food for thought there. It's something that I'm always thinking about, and is a really important piece of sports nutrition, is learning how to eat during exercise. And so I think that's something worth considering, worth discussing. And if you have any questions specific to that stuff, let me know. But yeah, basic rule of thumb: if it's an exercise or workout over an hour and a half, you want to be eating during it. Every 30 to 45 minutes, eat part of a bar, or a cookie or a muffin, or some blocks or bars or gels or sports drink, whatever. Of course, hydration is important as well for any exercise over an hour, basically. And so drinking, you can also drink your calories, drink your energy during that with sports drink, or like my sports tea I showed a couple weeks ago. But this is just stuff that is just worth trying. It's worth experimenting. I know it's not super fun, and it's like sort of annoying, but it makes a big difference over the course of an entire season, or a couple seasons or career. And I think you'll really see the benefit, reap the benefit, if you start working on this now at your age, rather than not eating during exercise or races or whatever, and then you just start to bonk and not have good quality workouts. So that's it. Hope everyone is recovering up, getting some good sleep, getting some good fuel in the tank after such a sweet week. And until next time, thanks for watching.